YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So I made a video about this very topic the other day and it seems as though it's not going anywhere anytime soon. And I read a lot of the comments and I just want to thank all of the people who are tuning into my channel. And I read a lot of the comments on the video, especially from my cousins from overseas, you guys who are in America, regarding how you feel about Prince Harry, know-it-all Prince Harry, meddling in the US election and dropping his thoughts and feelings regarding the Capitol riots. Now, a lot of people are saying that it was not a right-wing protest, but in fact the storming of the Capitol was due to Antifa, who also infiltrated the BLM movement. That's what a lot of people think. They believe it is Antifa. So I guess it's out there and I'm not really going to comment. So people are still going for Harry and he is ironically still being dragged. And I found this article which was written yesterday now, and it was titled "Prince Harry slapped down as Duke's astonishing political meddling sparks an angry backlash." And I'm so happy, I'm so relieved that Harry is really demonstrating all the reasons as to why we did not want him to stay in Britain, why we're relieved in some sense that he's gone. We're in part relieved, but then we're sad because we are still in some way, shape or form paying for something in their life. And I think that is their massive security bill that we are still having to fork out for as British taxpayers. Even if it's by default through the funding of the duchy, which is Charles's responsibility, and then he shares that in part with his children, and he's still sharing that with just H, just Harry, and just Meg. People are going on about this, and this article is by The Express. It's had a hell of a lot of comments, which is rare for an Express article because they only write these short little ones. And I just think that Harry's getting his upcomings, and I'm really happy that Americans are starting to see the flaws and the holes in their woe befall us, Britain is a horrible, awful, bigoted, racist place, because now we can truly see what they truly are. They put their foot where they just don't need to put their foot. They make it their business to talk about issues and topics that really are absolutely nothing to do with them. And they twist words. And of course, by default, Harry is especially desperate to get rid of social media, get rid of platforms that we love and enjoy, like YouTube. It's so nice to have a platform where I can literally reveal the truth, the deep, dark, dirty secrets of Harry and Meghan. They don't want people like me to be able to express themselves, to be able to share their thoughts and feelings freely, openly with you guys, which I love doing. They don't want that. They want all social media to be banned because guess what? They're self-centered, because only they are having an awful, terrible time on it. They keep on going on about how terrible social media is and how they don't like it and how it needs to be reformed. But if they really felt that way, then they would simply just not look at it. They simply wouldn't use it. And there are millions of people out there who just simply don't use it. I have a lot of family members who just do not use it. They don't use Facebook. They have a profile, but it's dormant. They have an Instagram page, but it's dormant. They don't use it. They may browse on it once or twice a year, but they're not avid regular users. They're not uploading or taking pictures of their Sunday lunch, whatnot. They're just not using it, and that's fine. Some people have gotten to that point where they just don't like it. Harry and Meghan, on the other hand, really want to be involved in these charitable, international, global causes that in part are heavily reliant upon social media. That's how we receive our information now. That's how we learn about what's going on in the world now. And it's an integral part in charity work and charities getting donations. If something goes viral on social media, that's a charitable cause. That could mean millions and millions of pounds of funding for a very good charitable cause. Meghan and Harry don't seem to acknowledge that. They just talk about all the flaws of it, yet they're using it all the time. They know that if they do a little interview it's going to end up somewhere on a commentary channel on YouTube. The Daily Mail are going to write about it, and all of the other millions of news stations that also use social media as an outlet. People are on social media and it's here to stay. And I find it quite frustrating that they are trying to take it away from us. That does really burn me to the core, I have to say so myself. So I'm going to read a little bit of this article, but you already know the gist of it anyway, because I went through it the other day. Prince Harry's comments on the riots at the Capitol have been branded astonishing and as an interference in the United States domestic policy. Harry has moved against social media in a recently released interview in which he accused online platforms of contributing to stoke a crisis of hate, health and truth. The Duke of Sussex spoke about the role the internet has played in the organisation of the storming of the Capitol, which took place earlier this month. Harry spoke about the riots as a literal attack on democracy. The Duke's remarks have been perceived by a few social media users, more like millions, as unwanted interference carried out by a member of a foreign royal family. One wrote, "I do believe that there was a certain little war that was won by the Americans against the British monarchy about 250 years ago. One would think that Americans don't want interference from foreign royals." And that's what Harry has to remember. If he wants to prance around with his little fairy wings on his back, seeking justice and world peace, all the way out in America, he has to remember that he's still using that Duke of Sussex title. He still has those royal patronages. He's been given the option, plenty of options to let go, plenty of options to simply be just Harry, but he doesn't want to do that. He wants to maintain his royal links, which he has no business maintaining because, let's face it, he's not even acting in any kind of royal capacity. He's completely self-serving. He's more like a celebrity, and he wants to get money out of that royal aspect and run around in America with Megxit and interfere with American political affairs and American modern day issues, which he has no right to do. He's not even got his American citizenship. So really, what is this? What is just Harry really up to? And I substantiate people's anger and fury. I'm still infuriated by Harry's audacity to do half the things that he does. I just don't understand where it comes from, or maybe I do, royal privilege. A third social media user said it was astonishing to read a Prince of the United Kingdom to speak about a domestic crisis. They said, astonishing to see a foreign visitor in the United States publicly commenting on a domestic matter in US politics and public life, particularly as a prince. Someone else also said, and this was in defense of Harry, Prince Harry's right to comment on the riots in the Capitol is he is not a visitor, he is now a resident and a taxpayer, so he gets a voice. But a voice for what? This is what I don't understand. And these are sugars, of course. They must be sugars. Like, really? Does it really matter what Harry thinks about the riots? Does it really matter what Harry feels about social media? Social media is here to stay. We don't care about what Harry thinks. Yes, we understand that Harry doesn't like social media because he doesn't have a great time on it, because he can't maintain a profile on it because of his relationship with Meghan, blah, blah, blah. But that's not our problem. Why does everyone have to be subjected to what Harry and Meghan think and feel about every little thing, or even what they're doing? And US citizens who are naturalized, born, raised and bred citizens have every right to discuss their own political affairs that affects their everyday daily lives without commentary from Harry and Meghan, of all people. Meghan hasn't really been a resident of the United States of America for the better part of a decade. She spent 7 years in Canada, then she spent 2 or 3 years just around the world with Harry, and that is the truth. She's not someone who really deserves to have heavy commentary on American affairs. Even though she's a native, she was born there, blah blah blah. She hasn't been there. She's somewhat extremely detached. Harry, of course, is upsetting the masses and he is irritating the Americans. I would like to see how long he lasts out there with Megxi, but I guess only time will tell. I'll be back for another video. Bye guys.